Who aren't with us, David, the show is yours.
Welcome everybody. We are going to cover some basic usage of the iPhone within our industry. This is a sales meeting, so within the newspaper industry and using sales, we've deployed these phones very similar to everybody. Obviously, everybody has the ability to download some apps, and so we are also asking for people to share with us your experiences with the phone, and also maybe some different apps that maybe have not been deployed with the phones. We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm going to now share out the device. I have a piece of software called Reflections that allows me to show the cell phone to you on the computer within the GoToMeeting environment. So you should now be able to see the phone.
Yep.
Okay. Just for reference point, because my screen may be different than yours, I need to see what's the very bottom thing that you see. Do you see the actual button at the very bottom of the screen, or do you just see the volume slide, or?
Yeah, I can see the button.
See the entire phone, Dave.
Okay, good. Very good. So I know that you can see everything that I am seeing. That certainly helps. Now, obviously, you cannot see me pointing to the phone. So I will have to describe to you what I'm doing, and I will also be using the mouse to kind of point to different areas. Obviously, just a quick tutorial, this is your forward-facing camera, so if you were to actually be in a call that is on a Wi-Fi network, you could actually do a FaceTime call, which means that you would actually see the person that you're talking to if they have another iPhone. At the very top right-hand side of the corner, there is a button. If you push and hold that button, it will ask you if you would like to shut down the phone. In doing so, that's how you would actually reboot the phone. There's oftentimes, this is just a mini computer, and there are times that you need to reboot the phone in order to make sure that it's working correctly. If there's some sort of a glitch or something that's not performing as it normally should have, or you expect it to, you need to make sure that you reboot it before you do anything else. On the left-hand side, at the very top, there's a slide button, and that slide button controls your volume. It basically turns the phone mute. So if you slide that, you'll see on my phone, a little symbol comes up saying no sounds, and it switches it to vibrate mode only. If I slide it the other direction, it will turn it on, and it will allow me to control, at that point, the volume controls. The volume controls are the two buttons that are located directly below the slide switch, and then that would allow you to adjust the ring or volume. If you're actually in a call, it'll switch over to an in-call volume. For example, I wear a Bluetooth device that pairs with the phone, and I can adjust the Bluetooth volume with this as well. At the very top of the phone, you'll notice a bar that goes across. Mine is highlighted in blue because I'm sharing out of my phone through the airport software. This little symbol here means that I have my navigation GPS sensor activated, so that I can track the phone if I want to, wherever it is. It also allows me driving directions and other features. Over here you have the signal control. This is the signal meter to how much tower strength that you have. This is the Verizon network, obviously. And in this little symbol here, it looks this way because I'm connected to Wi-Fi. If I was not connected to a Wi-Fi hotspot, you would see another type of symbol there. It would either be, for example, like a 1TX, or it would say 3G, indicating that you're on a high-speed Verizon wireless network. When this symbol is displayed, then that means that you're on a hotspot. Obviously, the time and then battery condition, and then this is your Bluetooth symbol. This button that's down here at the bottom is your home button. It will do different things. If you press and hold it, it will ask you for directions. So you can actually speak to it and ask for things like dialing commands. You can actually dial by name that's in your contact list, and it will attempt to look it up the best it can. If you double click it, it actually brings up a menu, and it shows you all the applications that you have listed, and you can scroll through them this way. And it also has a volume control for playing back your audio. You'll notice down here towards the bottom you have a search where you can actually, if you scroll to the left, where you can search the phone for keyword search. So by typing in here, it will bring up results with reference of Alltop located in it. So you pretty much type in there anything that you need to. You'll notice it's also searching the calendar information. It's also searching emails. Again, looking at the dots down at the bottom, you'll also notice that you have more desktop space. If you scroll to the right, you'll see the dot is activating depending on what screen that you're looking at. Any questions so far? This is just a basic operation of the phone. Obviously, we make phone calls with it. So when you come into the main dialing screen, the way your phones are set up, they're set up to use Gmail. Gmail is what we decided on because of our mixed platform between Mac and PC and also having iPhones in the mix here. So using Gmail, your contacts will show up here. The key is the contacts that show up here are only the contacts that are in the My Group. If you are missing somebody in here and you know that you have them on your Thunderbird client, which is what folks are using for their workstations, then you can go to Groups, and you'll see an option that says Gmail Work Global Address List. And this will allow you to search all of your Google contacts. The other limitation that we have with this particular setup is the fact that you cannot do group emailing. You can't have a group list in this. You'd have to create that outside of the Gmail environment.
We've got a question.
Yeah.
I don't have that on my phone. I just have Exchange Contacts and Exchange Global Address List.
Okay, well let's go back here. You'll also notice that my icons look a little bit different. Let me cover two things and we'll address that question about why is it named differently. If you click any one of the icons and hold it, if it's an application that you downloaded and installed, you can simply hit the X to uninstall the application. In addition to that, if the two icons are similar and you drag them over and touch each other, that's how I created the group. You notice it says productivity. Now I really don't want to create the group, so I'm going to take that out. But and then when you're done, you press this button down here to have the icons return back to normal. But that is how, for example, all my book readers I have in one location. By clicking and holding until the icons wiggled like that, I was able to group all of the similar objects together to organize the desktop better. I just wanted to point that out because I've also done that with my utilities. So I'm going to go to my utilities and go to settings. And because we had 3 different people setting up the phones, not everybody was consistent in how they did it. If you go to Mail, Contacts, and Calendars, these names are arbitrary. So in any one of these, I called mine Gmail Work. I could call it Hickory Dickory Dock. It really doesn't matter what it's called. The description is changed right here, so you can label that whatever you would like. Let's go back and we'll do it again. It should be Mail, Contacts, and Settings. I'm sorry, Mail, Contacts, Calendars. And then when you select that, you'll see the one that says Exchange. And then if you select the account, it will bring up the detail. And then you'll see at the very bottom it says Description. And where yours says Exchange, you can simply relabel it whatever you would like to call it. Some folks have 2 or 3 different Gmail accounts, and so they may be monitoring more than one Gmail account through their system.
David, this is Brian. I don't have anything that says exchange. It says iCloud, Yahoo, ChessPub, or add an account.
What do you, it says what? Yahoo?
It says iCloud, Yahoo, ChessPub, or add an account.
Oh.
Dave?
It's theirs, not ours.
Yeah, we're waiting for the feedback to stop.
You have to unmute.
Dave, I'm supposed to try to listen to ChessPub by name or not. Dave named his email work.
Hey, you might want to mute your speaker phones until you have a question, because we're getting feedback, and I think others are as well.
One way that you can tell, if you go to the Chesapeake one and actually select it, what is the account email address?
Well, it's bdome68 at chesspub.com, but that's not my chesspub email address.
So it doesn't sound like your phone's working correctly. So we'll need to work with you to resolve that issue.
Okay, thank you.
All right. But this is the control center right here where you can actually change the descriptions of whatever you want to call those. The settings are also where you control pretty much all the functions of your phone. Typically, once they're set up, you don't need to go in here. If there's something specific to an application, usually you can get to the application settings right from the interface. One thing to point, if anybody does fly, this is your airplane mode, so you can turn the airplane mode off and on here so that the radios are turned off. And this is also where you can control your location services. And what location services are basically doing is there's a lot of programs out there that want to know where you're physically standing when you take a picture, or if I'm in Hershey Park and I need to look at the map, it wants to know where you're physically located. So it uses your location GPS to be able to identify your location. The other nice little handy gadget here is that you can go to Find Phone. It does require a login, and that's the Apple ID account, which is your passcode and your username. So it's not something that I know or Dennis knows or anybody else. But if you sign in here, which I'm not going to do right now, it will actually find your phone for you or find your iPad for you. So even though you're using my phone, you could use my phone to find your phone. You could actually use my phone, log in, and say, where is my phone at? And it would tell you where in the world it's sitting at that time, so long as it's on.
Which David uses frequently.
Well, with the iPad I do, because I use the iPad constantly, and I have to go, and then you can also make it make noise. It'll sit there and beep until you find it, which is also very handy. It also works with laptops. So if you have the MacBook Airs, then this is also a location device. So if you have an iPhone and you want to log in and track down where's my MacBook Air, then we can also track your MacBook Air. And just going back to this real quick, some folks are using the voicemail that's built into the system. And this is one of the features that we've used quite a bit here since we're heavily